guys, and welcome back to Creatures of Curiosity. Hope you all are doing well. Today's adventure brings us to the Northern State Psychiatric Hospital. Let me show you. Here we go. Here's some old pictures of what it looked back in its heyday. Yeah, pretty neat. And here is a map. A lot of things have changed, but we're going to see a lot. So we're going towards the back area. This is where Job Corps is, so we can only go so far. But this is the area of the hospital where the attendants, nurses, and doctors would live. This is quite an interesting hospital. And this right here is the nurses' quarters where they would live while they worked. We've got a lot of ground down here. This place was commissioned in 1909. It was suggested by the superintendent of Western State Hospital of Washington in response to the overcrowding in his own hospital. It officially opened in 1912, starting with 100 all-male patients who also helped with the construction of the hospital. By 1922, there were reportedly 1,084 patients. So we're just driving around the historical road here. And I don't know if you could see it, but that's a caged-in courtyard with a basketball court. Let's swing around to the front and see what's going on. Okay, that looks modern, and it looks like it's still in use, so that's interesting. And we're just driving around, getting kind of a feel for the area, and then we're going to stop here in a minute and get out. Buildings were designed by Seattle architects Saunders and Lawton using Spanish colonial revival. But the grounds were designed by Olmsted. He was regarded as the founder of American landscape architecture. His most notable designs are Central Park, North Carolina's Biltmore State, and Harvard University. Now, some of the buildings today have been torn down, as you can see right there in that picture, but there's still a whole bunch of buildings here, and we are definitely going to check them out. Okay, so approaching our first building here. Man, oh my gosh, it's so creepy looking, isn't it? I think this is really neat that the city, lets you check out some history and get to know a little bit more about strangers and their lives. Let's see. What is this building and what did they do here? Oh, looks like an office kind of thing. Admittance, maybe a main room where they all hung out, watched TV, listened to music. Wow, look at those old lights up there. Made of metal and everything. Oh my goodness. All the lead poisoning. No, I'm joking. It looks like there used to be a sign here. And I'm not sure. We can't go inside. I don't know. But here's the outside. And just give you another overview of where we're going. Man, isn't that amazing? We're at the other side of the building. And coming through this corridor. So cool looking. Okay, I noticed that there is this other corridor here connecting the two buildings. Connecting that one and the one we were just checking out. Let me see if I can find somewhere closer. Maybe we could look through the windows and see if there's something to see in there. I don't know. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Oh man. Oh, wow. Whoa. Let's see the other way. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Look at the floor. All the leaves and everything. Oh, wow. See, and it just goes down to the next building there, connecting the two. Right there. All right, so we're at the second building now. Let's look in their windows. What? Got some tile, maybe? Huh. Sink and things. Let's see what's down here. Let's see. Please excuse my shakiness. I'm trying not to kill myself and film at the same time. Oh, look, a dishwasher. Look at that. Whoa, that's like industrial dishwashing right there. I mean, I guess you have to be. That's a lot of people. So here's the front of that building. And we're moving right along, headed on down that way. Okay, so we're at the side of that second building we looked with the dishwasher. And look, there's something in the middle. Do you notice that? And then the building that's probably torn down right here. Okay, definitely. So there's probably a corridor like that one before right here. And it connected probably to this, what was a building. So you can kind of see the walls of sorts. Yeah. Ooh, what's that over there? Let's go. Okay, let's see. Let's be nosy. See what was up in here on this side. Because, you know, the other side was the dishwasher and stuff. Looks like rooms. Like a room of some sort. Maybe a patient's room or an office. I don't know. It kind of looks like a patient's room, though, to be honest with you. And let's see. Can you see? I hope you can see. Oh, there we go. Oh, so I did find some information, and this is the day room, obviously, where they would have activities. It was their activities room. Neat. Let's go around the side, on the other side here, and see. Yeah. Okay, so it's a little better view, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Huh. Pretty neat. Wow. Let's see. We're going to look in this window, and then I'm going to start telling you some tidbits of information that I've learned about this place before we came out. Whoa, that is so cool. Wow. So by looking at the map, this was the electrical pump. I'm not too sure about this building. I've tried to look it up, but it does look official. I know for sure this is the side of the chapel. And this is part of the main hospital, the original main hospital. So if you ever go back to the beginning of the video and you look at the map, you can see that the chapel on the right here is connected to the left, which is the administration building. Here we go. Gives you a little idea. Okay, we have stopped and we've pulled over and we're at the other end of the property. There's that chapel. Okay. Do you hear that? Sounds like explosions. Their big bangs. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Look, a bunny rabbit. Oh my goodness. But yeah, what is that noise? Ooh, creepy. Okay, anywho, there's the chapel. And basically, by the end of 1915, the hospital became so overcrowded due to legislator. They closed other hospitals in the state and they transferred out of the county patients to this hospital. So they added more buildings for this reason, which we saw before. The newer additions were designed by the same architect who designed Tacoma Stadium High School. That big old high school that looks like Hogwarts. And it was also in 10 Things I Hate About You, the movie. Anywho, by 1917, the hospital had 10 buildings, which held 750 patients and 70 staff. The patient to attendant ratio was 1 per 16 patients. Could you imagine? Oh, man. 1 to every 16 patients. Later on, they added 2 more wards for the males due to the number of male patients that they were getting and to the safety of the female patients. The last patients left August 16th, 1973. The closure had brought a loss of 500 plus jobs. And the really weird thing is the remaining patients were transferred to Western State Hospital, but a lot of them were released to the general public. So there's that. That's fun. In 1921, the Seattle Star did a story exploring cases of alleged red lighting. So allegedly, one male patient was dumped off in Grand Junction, Colorado, while another male patient was dumped off in Norman, Oklahoma. But they're saying that while this was happening, the hospital was being accused of keeping the allowances of each patient. Also, in 1921, there was a man by the name of James Hullen. He was a hospital attendant, and he was murdered by a patient with a razor blade. So, yeah, there's some history here. Later that same month, a cook was fired for refusing to serve rotten food and underfeeding patients. In 1928, a patient was allegedly beaten by an attendant after an altercation. The patient died a week later. According to witnessing patients at the hospital, the attendant had stomped on the patient's head while the patient was lying on the ground. Doctors did x-rays and it showed that the patient had broken ribs on his left side. The witnessing patients' accounts were discredited due to their mental condition. The attendant was acquitted and the death was blamed on the patient's epilepsy. Whoa, the lights are still on, so I feel like somebody's working out here, you know? It's weird. So this is the administration building. This is where he would get admitted into this hospital. So many people came through these doors. How scary would that be as a person? Of course, then again, I'm sure some people really did need the help, but back in these days, a lot of things that we do today could be considered insane back then, and we could have been admitted for a number of things, for losing our temper, for having, PMS, just all sorts of things, for disagreeing with a police officer or disagreeing with your boss. They could commit you involuntarily into a place like this. So not everybody here, really needed to be here. But back then they didn't know any better. And right now we're behind the building we were just looking at, the administration building. This is the actual hospital, like health hospital. Here's the side of the administration building. All right, this hospital right here that you're seeing to the right, they did a lot of experiments. They would do lobotomies, they would do waterboarding where they'd hold your head under in cold, icy water. They would also pump you full of insulin to try to, like, shock your mind back into normal mental functioning. Of course, back then, these doctors, a lot of them, they meant well and they were just trying. I mean, the mind still today, we still don't know everything. So I'm sure there were some nurse ratchets and things, but still. All right, so this is the last spot of the hospital that we're going to be checking out. We're going to go check out a couple more spots. This place is huge. It's huge. All right, next spot. So we're down the road at the Northern State Recreational Area, and we're parking here at the Veterans Community Garden. Or, excuse me, Community Plaza. It's a very nice plaza, and I think it's always so wonderful when people do this. Yeah, so this place is pretty cool. It's filled with a lot of trails. You have a disc golf course, which from I understand is extremely fun, but also challenging. But there are so many trails through here. Wow, look at that view. And the mountains. We're at the foothills of the Cascade Mountains. Just in case you're wanting to know what those beautiful things were in the background. And there's all these trails, like even out in this field, you can't really see them, but they're there. Like this. Look what I found. Watch. I found this trail down this trail. And I also found this trail too. Look at that. It's like crawl in there, or maybe it's a trail for your doggy. All right, so the first stop you're going to make is this food processing plant. Give you a little overview of what it looks like. Yeah, it's cool. This is how far away we are from the parking lot. I don't know if you see that shiny dot in the distance. And we're just going to go around this area and just scope things out. We're not going to go inside. But I think this totally suffices because, wow, this is pretty cool. Let's go back up here, up the hill, and see what we got. Whoa. Some more processing plant stuff. Oh, courage. All right, isn't that cool? And then we found another trail. And another trail on another trail, and another trail, and another trail, and another trail. No, I'm joking. Dude, this is so crazy. Look at that. Could you imagine? And they all worked out here. This is like a working farm. Like all of the patients had a part in working the farm, working at the processing plant. All that stuff. It was a vocational rehabilitation of sorts for, for the mentally disabled. And from what I understand, a lot of the patients talked about how they actually enjoyed it. it made them feel productive, and they were able to socialize with people and get outdoors and stuff, which I could imagine. Like, I'd probably want to be outside too. I mean, the buildings are really nice and everything, but gosh, with all those people in there, yeah, it'd be nice to, stretch your legs and your toes. Pretty neat stuff. Wow. Pretty cool. Yeah, this whole farm area is a total of 700 acres. It's crazy. So this road here used to be an old road that existed, and it serviced the farm and the hospital. And we're going to another part of the farm through this way. It's a little bit easier because roads have changed and trails and trees, and you know what I'm saying. Things change over the years. But being that this was a self-sustaining hospital, they had a meal, they had electrical pump, they had a quarrying operations, they had water from the river that flows right through the property, a full working farm with fruits, vegetables, farm animals. They did processing and packaging, the whole 9 yards. Like, they were able to sustain themselves so well, and they were so productive that they were able to not only feed all the patients and the staff of Northern Hospital, but they also were able to feed the other hospitals in Washington State. That's pretty cool. The dairy farm was actually the largest of its kind west of Mississippi. And that's pretty fascinating. Looks like there might have been like horses in here. I know they had horses and cows and chickens. Oh, there's a duck there. It might have been chickens. Wow. So neat. Give you a little view alongside this building and see what we're looking at, kind of deal. Got that building we're going to go into. We got that building we're going to go to. Let's see what we got in here. Oh, it's open. Maybe a garage? Or no. I don't see. Yeah, maybe. Vehicles back in the day were a lot smaller and shorter and width-wise, a lot thinner. Could have been. Like a garage, a workshop kind of deal for the vehicles of the farm. Okay, now wait a minute. This kind of looks like this is where chickens would go too. Oh. Pretty darn neat to look at, though. Wow. Cool. Man, look at that busted up roof. Ain't that crazy? Just history. And it's still here after all this time. All the stories, all the hard work and sweat and everything. I could only imagine how it would feel to be out here just because you had your monthly cycle. Or what about you're just upset that your boss doesn't know what he's doing and he sends you here? It's like, look at that. A you in the mountain. So you always know where you're at. But yeah, guys, it's just, I don't know. The thoughts of the people, their lives, the things that they've seen and went through. Because yet again, there were also people who did need to have some assistance, you know, they did need help. And that's totally fine. Like, nobody should ever feel ashamed or afraid to ask for it, ever. We all go through stuff. It's just amazing. Just amazing to think about. Now, I'm pretty sure this is where the cows went in. It just looks so cattle friendly. Aha. Milk. Yep. Man, it's so crazy. Yeah, they did milk back there. I don't know what's in here. But you know, you hear all these stories. Like, people will say that this place is haunted. There's been some famous, like, TV ghost hunter people who have come out here and said, oh, yeah, it's totally haunted and things like that. You know, I don't know. I have no idea. All I know is that this was a time in our history where things were just new, you know? I mean, they were still new. We're still learning things even today, like I said before, and it just, I don't know, it's quite amazing because you know that you had people that really cared and that really wanted to help. They just did what they thought were best, you know? Oh my gosh, Freddy Krueger. Dude, what if his gloves are in there? That's what it looks like. It's like, we put his glove in there after we burned him. Wow, this is so crazy. Wow, I'm sorry. I'm just so sorry about all this like stumbling, walking and stuff. Hopefully in the future this will change. I've got some new equipment and new projects and things coming in the future. Hopefully that will get rid of the jigglies. Ooh, this building looks really neat. I just like it a lot. All right, so we're on the outer side here of the farm. Oh, definitely horses, for sure. Yep, yep. A little washroom of sorts. Wow, look at that roof, man. I'm just poking my camera in. Don't walk in here. Wow, look at that. I mean, really, like that roof could come down on you. Don't. Wow. And I believe this is the last building that we're going to check out. Let's Let's see, just stick my arm in here and let's see what's going on. Oh, okay. Shoot, I have no clue what this is. If you guys have any clues of what these buildings are, please comment. Like, really, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about these rooms, the hospital, the farm. Tell me what's up. All right, here is what looks like the entrance to this barn we just checked out. And we've got silo. Wow, amazing. Just want to give some last looks at the farm before we leave. All right, so I'm back at that road that we were at that used to be a road but it isn't anymore. See, as you can see here, that's the end of it where it ended, and then it just went all the way down. And at the end there is our last location, right down there. Yeah, see the road line? So here's our last spot. This is the hospital cemetery, and it's kind of sad. Not just because it's a cemetery, but let me show you some things here and we'll get into it. This here is a memorial plaque to the patients from the high school students of Sedro Wooley. And here is the cemetery. As you'll notice, there's no tombstones. You see some holes in the ground or some pits. I'll tell you more. So the holes in the pits here are actual grave sites. They're the patients of the hospital. The attendant that was murdered at the hospital, he's also buried out here. These little flags here are to indicate where they have found more graves. So these are more recent. There are volunteers that come through here and poke through the ground to find, more and more people as they can. It's a respectful thing. It's quite a shame. There's a funeral home in Mount Vernon called the Hawthorne Funeral Home. And basically what happened is in 1983, they discovered 200 food cans that were labeled with the patient's IDs from the state hospital. The cans held the cremated remains of the patients who had died from 1941 to 1953, which is when the hospital's crematory had been shut down. They had been kept in storage the whole time till the hospital's closure in 1973. It's estimated at around 900 patients were cremated and buried in food cans in both this hospital cemetery and other local cemeteries. Death records of the patients who died from 1911 to 1963 only became available in 2023. If you go into the city's website for this cemetery, you can find a list of all the known grave sites that they know up to date, the names, the locations. The city of Sedro Wooley assumed ownership of this place in 2018. So they're trying to take care of it. They're trying to get things back together and back in order and everything. It's quite sad. We went ahead and after filming, we placed, coins and things and our respects. So one last view of this cemetery before we leave and the story of Northern State Psychiatric Hospital. I hope you guys had a wonderful time, even though it was kind of somber. Make sure to like and subscribe, and see you next time.